Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga. Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, March 18th, 2024. And forgive me, I need to verify the microphone setting. I usually do this first, but I got pretty lazy about it. And this is the type, yes. See, the microphone volume was down to half what it should be. So hopefully I sound just a little bit louder. I don't know if I'll sound any clearer, a little bit louder than usual. Well, not than usual, a little bit louder than it would have been had I not fixed the microphone setting. Kapla all, and I don't know if the right thumbnail was out or not, because the email I got from YouTube did not have the thumbnail I had changed it to. I added an AI lady to the thumbnail for today, a day which I declared AI Model Day. Of course, there was no official holiday today about an AI model, but I decided to call it that because I was playing with the AI image generation tool today, and just, I guess this has been out there for years now, perhaps, but I'm only coming to, I'm only catching up with it myself recently. Obviously, I've been generating AI images for some time, in no small part thanks to LDG for kind of pushing it on to me 6 months ago, almost maybe a year ago. I used it sparingly here and there to make an image which I didn't have. Instead of searching Google Images, try to just make an image so that your copyright was stronger. Nobody was going to come after you for stealing a copyrighted image. It was your own actual work if you can get it. Somehow the law is that if an AI generated it, it is still technically a copyright-free item, even though thousands and thousands of copyrighted images were used probably to create the AI-generated image. Somehow, the resulted image was copyright-free according to the laws of the land, because our laws have not caught up with the technology. And now is the time, to, I guess, use and abuse the system, like those wonder days during when MP3s were still too new, when Napster was still too new to be regulated, and as a teenager, that coming of age, especially for me, who was also coming to age of actually starting to enjoy music for the first time in their lives, as somebody who had literally been anti-music their entire childhood. I mean, it was almost a comedy moment that you would go, what would you do? You'd go on a date or something, or you needed a question to ask somebody, and what would you say? So do you like music? And like, duh, everybody likes music. Who doesn't like music, you schmuck? The real question is, what kind of music do you like? So who the hell asked, so do you like music? But the truth is, had you asked me, do I like music? I would have been like, no, I don't. I didn't see the point to music. I did not see the point to music for the better part of my childhood, well into my teenage years. And it was only actually after I started college and my friend base grew, and I was kind of forced to listen to music, did I have the thoughts that, hey, some of this stuff isn't bad. Of course, the music I enjoyed the most was music I found on my own, which was Frank Sinatra, which wasn't really compatible with the music I was hearing from my friends in college, which was mostly rap and what's the other, I don't know, whatever they call hip hop, rap and hip hop, and others who liked metal and rock and roll. And of course, then I started finding an appreciation for what I knew as oldies of the time, which was all the music Mom Pray and Dad Pray used to listen to. It wasn't that we were a music-free home or anything. It was me personally who just didn't like music, because I just associated it with socialization, and being I was not somebody who enjoyed socialization, I just figured, why did I need music? And I'm forgetting what sent me down this trajectory. But oh yeah, so AI. I was trying to make it an AI day, and so today is AI Model Day, and I don't know how I got from there to here, but we'll get back. John Araki first in the chat, and sign says, long-haired freaky people need not apply, and puts in a 99-cent super poop super sticker. Thank you so much, John Araki. And Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. Captain Finity is here with popcorn. Hopla, Captain Finity. Richie Poole for in the chat with 4 alpacas. Follow Albanese says hi and hope everyone is as well as can be. Hail Karoga, and puts in the spread of me, Mom Opre, Sis Opre, Sassy Nephew Opre, and hug emojis. Kapla, Carlo Albanese. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies. Kapla, Kapla. Captain Finity is ready to celebrate. John Araki says Mamo Pray 2024. Low specs Linux laptop is in the house. Kapla. Mike Richards, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Kapla, Mike Richards. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says Kapla, gotta lurk. Kapla, Gorilla. Good luck. Good luck with, I hope your stream went well last night. Captain Finity with some crystal skulls. Suzanne Eckstein says hello to me and Gorilla. John Meyer says Kropla. Kropla, John. And LDG Free the Net says hello from Best Buy. I'm guessing he's at Best Buy trying to track down the head of Geek Squad to shake them down for more information. Good luck, LEG. Hopefully Geek Squad can solve your problems. Captain Finity says for all your stereophonic equipment needs. I guess that's Best Buy. Suzanne says hello to LDG. Words and pictures with Kapla Bird. Good to hear you. Good to be here. Good to see you. Words and pictures. Hakeem says Kapla Bird and all. Kapla Hakeem. John Araki says hashtag remember the Karoga mode. Hakeem says sounds better. Thank you. Sci-Fi Sith Dan says Kapla Bird. Kapla Sci-Fi Sith Dan. And you know what? I was listening to you on Pop Culture the other night, Sci-Fi Sith Dan, and you brought up the fact that you are a Star Trek fan, and you took some offense from someone who doubted it, and you were brave enough to admit you had not seen the original series of Star Trek. You'd seen some episodes of DS9 and Voyager, I think you said most of Enterprise, but that doesn't mean you're not a Star Trek fan. And I believe the person who had taken issue with it was basically saying that you really need to see TOS to get what Star Trek is. And I started to think about it, and at first I was like, "Hell's yeah! Tell that kid where he is. He's got to watch TOS to be a real Star Trek fan." But then I thought about it a little bit more, and you were right. Not all of us were brought up on the original series. I happen to be, but that was a happy coincidence. Had I not had one or two people in my life, it's very possible I might not have seen Star Trek until TNG. Now, I would have liked to think that I would have decided to watch the original series on my own accord at that point, but the reality is I probably wouldn't, not for a long while. Would that have made me any less of a Star Trek fan? I don't think so. So then the reality is, as TOS episodes get older and older, it's going to get more ridiculous to expect younger fans to have a basis in TOS. It really, I almost want to do an entire video on what does it mean to be a Star Trek fan these days. What shows, if any, are so-called required watching. Anyway, it was interesting. It was a very interesting discussion I was having in my own brain. The point is, Sci-Fi Sith Dan, you are definitely a Star Trek fan. I would say you're a different fan than I am, and we are both different fans than anyone else on that chat. But that's the thing. Everyone is different from each other. Do I have a right to say you're not a fan? No. Do I have a right to say so-and-so is a bigger fan than someone else? Well, of course, I have a right to say it. Does it mean I'm right to say it? That's up for someone else to decide. But the main thing is, nobody should care, because it's an opinion, and opinions are overrepresented, overused. Nobody should care about an opinion. Hemorrhoid hurts with a $2.99 super chat.
Scanning. Indications negative at this time.
STD ruined Star Trek, and Picard killed TNG. Broke my heart. Yeah, hemorrhoid hurts. I agree. STD ruined Star Trek, and Picard killed TNG. Broke my heart. Yeah, I used to watch a TNG episode at least once a day, probably 2 or 3 a day. I mean, literally every day, 1 or 2 episodes a day, at least, for years and years and years. And then Star Trek Picard started. And by the end of season 3, I had stopped watching Star Trek TNG daily because I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I still love TNG, but knowing where it ends now, knowing where it ultimately goes, knowing that Star Trek Picard exists and the future he is going to have, it ruins it. It ruins it for me. It's sad, and it doesn't make sense that it somehow makes the TNG episodes worse, but it does. Anyway. John Araki says hashtag LDG Geek Squad. Carlos says, question, how can an AI walk down the catwalk?
Oh, yeah.
205 just donated Kissing Dax. I am more, 205 says, I am more than a Star Trek fan. I am a Star Trek AC, air conditioner. I'm more than a fan. I'm a Star Trek AC. Yes, 205. That is a good one. Plus Kissing Dax. Great. Thank you. Thank you for that. So how can AI walk down the catwalk? If you just put in to the AI, a hot woman walking down the catwalk, it makes it. It's magic. Mike Richards has confirmed Bird is drawing pictures of Fang Fang. Well, not Fang Fang per se, but well, let's take a look. Before we do that, let me get the thumbnail up for today, for today's video. Okay. This is the thumbnail that you should have been seeing. I don't know if it is the one you saw or not, but this is what you should have been seeing with the start of today. Now, I only bring it up because I got an email from the AI generator that I had been using for a while, saying that, there was a big update and whatever. So I went over to it. I think it was Leonardo AI or whatever. And I had typed in an old prompt about I was trying to get a woman wearing a white shirt, a tight white shirt that said Birdo Prey 5 on it. I thought that would be an interesting image if I could get a woman wearing a shirt that said Birdo Prey 5. I could do something with it. Well, of course, asking it to display Birdo Prey 5 was difficult. I couldn't get it to display anything of, anything worthwhile. So I said, well, if I could get just a plain white shirt, then maybe I could, Photoshop a Birdo Prey 5 logo or something onto the shirt to make it look somewhat realistic. But as luck would have it, this morning when I went back to that AI, the last attempt I had from previous reloaded. And so just by virtue of going back to the website today, it attempted to run my last command, which was attractive woman in tight V-neck shirt. And in white V-neck shirt. And this generated. And I'll be honest, I am enthralled, enamored. One of those words. I'm in a trance. She is freaking beautiful to me. I'll grant, usually, I would prefer a lady with little more in the boobs area, but oh my God, this is just amazing. And it's AI. She does not exist. There is no woman, supposedly, she does not exist. We could put her picture on wanted posters and no one would ever come up to look like her. I'm sure there'll be people who look close. I kind of see a resemblance to T'Pol. Like if T'Pol had longer hair, a slightly different face, I think that's a really good T'Pol. And I started thinking, at this point that if not for quote unquote safeguards programmed in by human beings, there is no reason that computer that produced this image couldn't produce the exact same image with no clothes. And then I thought, that there's got to be a porn AI out there already for free that would take this image and take off her clothes. So about 19 minutes later, now I can't display this image on YouTube because, reasons. So I had to edit it. But yes, you can take away those clothes. And if you are interested, I will show it with a black censored bar covering the naughty bits. So if you're on your work computer or something and you don't want this to show up, come back in 10 seconds. Otherwise, in 5 seconds, we're gonna go to it. 3, 2, 1. There she is. There's the rest of her. And now we're going to go back. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. And I'm sure that half of the audience is like, you idiot, this has been available for 2 years or whatever, 6 months. And the other half is like just wanting to know what website is that? And like, come check on me in 6 months. Yeah, so it's crazy. Just look at that. We are going to have a conversation as a society some point soon. We need to figure this out. I think, should it be legal? I think probably so. Should there be limits? I think maybe so. I mean, do we want a society where random guy can take a picture of a random person on the street and go back to their basement, change out, or not even change out the face, just add a body to them and create their own for private material? Because currently I don't see any law that would possibly prevent that from happening. And you say, okay, you're okay with that. But then what about when you realize it's not you that somebody's taking the picture of? It's your wife or your child. You say, well, that's possibly already illegal. Possibly. Anyway, it's something we've got to figure out. It's a more serious topic than we make it out to be sometimes. Carlo Albanese says, I don't like music. I just like the melody and tones of the instruments together. Hakeem says, Bird uses AI for Janeway fan fiction. Carlos says, Frank goes well with meatloaf. Is this the AI Bird? No, this is real Bird. Cody Guy says, hello. Hello, Cody Guy. I have been experimenting with a AI Bird voice. Dadman Walking 55 says, howdy. Howdy, Dadman Walking. Carlos says, is Prometheus willing to do a stream yet? You'd have to ask Prometheus. Miranda Menace says, greetings from the future. I keep forgetting you are now starting 1 hour earlier. For a couple more weeks, I believe. Random Menace. Hakeem says, hey to Dadman Walking. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, last night's watch party was one of the more attended ones, and we could barely keep up with the chat. Congrats, Gorilla. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. John Araki says, Bird uses AI to generate images of Taylor Swift and AOC. You know, I could. I mean, technically, if not for safeguards written in, anybody could. Captain Infinity says all Star Trek fans should be given a written test. You know, you joke, Captain, but it might not be the worst. It might not be the worst. Carl Albanese says 99% of this chat is generated by chat. That is true. Captain Infinity says, chat. What is chat? Very good, Captain. Carlos is great concept, however, poor episode. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says, Bird of Prey 5 actually next gen is your generation's TOS. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Although, for me personally, DS9 was the Trek I identified with. TNG was the one that was on when I was a kid, but DS9 was the one that I grew up with. Say it that way. Hakeem says, I was brought up on TNG after it went off the air. I've only just watched a few episodes on TOS last year. Well, then I envy you, Hakeem. I envy you. You have so much more to learn. Famous Bearer says, hello, Berto Pray 5. Kapla, famous Bearer. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, to see who Picard became later in life destroyed TNG for me. Threw my entire collection in the rubbish. Oh my God, Hemorrhoid Hurts. I hope that's just you dramatizing. You didn't really throw it all away. But I feel you. I understand and I feel you. Yes. Seeing what happened to Picard, it hurts. It hurts. And it makes me not care as much. Carlo Albanese says, our differences make us interesting and think in new ways. Josh Reed says, is this a bird rant about him being found out about loving STD? No, I do not love STD. Carlos says, Picard season 3 had some good ship corn. Yes, it did. That was the one saving grace. Josh says, Carlo, true. Picard season 3 did have good ship. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, exactly, Bird. I'm the same. Daniel's Hot Topics says, Star Trek Picard just feels weak sauce. Daniel, it's well known how much you've enjoyed Star Trek Discovery. I'm surprised that you have such problems with Star Trek Picard. Miss Londell's Groovy Movies. You're sad because Picard ends up a sad old French dude that got robotized. Yeah, pretty much. That got robotized. Carlos says Picard is set in the First Contact timeline with Enterprise and Discovery. No, I'm sorry. That doesn't work for me. John Araki says maybe this year we'll get Kissing Ezri. I don't think so, John. I mean, maybe. But the thing is, we already had a attempted kissing. Okay, Ezri and Kira were supposed to kiss in the Mirror Universe episode. I mean, they did technically kiss, but you could see neither actress was in it. So they just did like the fake kiss. They got close. Their lips may have touched, but neither one of them wanted to embrace the other woman and actually
negative at this time.
Stick their tongue down the other woman's throat like kissing Dax. And so it'll never be the same. Hemorrhoids Hurts with a $7.99 super chat. Thank you, Hemorrhoids Hurts. Says, I never watched DS9. At the time, made the conscious decision to save it for my retirement. Only 2 years away now. Very cool, Hemorrhoid Hurts. Well, I'm super envious now that you are holding DS9 for your retirement. And wow, I gotta say, only 2 years away. And yet, I must warn you, Why save it? Start watching it now. God forbid something were to happen to you before your retirement. You should begin watching it now. That's all I gotta say. Watch it again after you retire. It'll still be good. But congratulations on going this far. Mhm. Hemorrhoid Hertz's Star Trek Picard is a complete character assassination. Indeed. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, Kafla Bird, it's a great day when I can immediately join a stream and experience kissing Dax. You were quite lucky. Anti-derivative Jill is in the house, says listening and driving. Drive safe, obviously. Carlo Albanese says, Bird, I programmed the AI like you said. However, it just set a woman on fire. I guess that's the form of a hot woman. To be honest, I was kind of surprised that, for all the wokeness I heard was programmed into AIs, that every time I told it to generate a hot or attractive, sexy woman, it almost every single time I did, it was always returning, white women. If I wanted to get somebody who wasn't white, I had to make that a request, which, don't get me wrong, it's fine. But the thing is, I guess it's okay because you can't request a white person. If you specifically request a white person, it says no, you can't do that. So to me, I would rather you can put in any request and it not complain. And if you don't put in a request, well, it just returns whatever on a per random basis, Anyway. Captain Infinity says, uh-oh. Daniel's Hot Topic says, First Contact timeline is Picard Discovery Season 1 and 2, and Picard Season 1, 2, and 3. And the sad thing is the TNG crew don't even know the events of First Contact sent them to a parallel timeline. Oh no, Captain Infinity is feeling the burn of multiple timelines. Carlo Albanese says, I think Riker knew. Schwario says, Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Schwario. Carlo likes the nips. I had to be honest, they were quite perky. Turn off the cloaking device, says Hemorrhoid Hertz. Famous Bear says, looks like you, Bird. Looks like me. Captain Infinity says, oh, tricky Photoshop work there. A lot of angles, surfaces, textures. Well, that is just the Leonardo AI at work. Hakeem says, are those AI nips? They are indeed. Those are the nips the AI created. Captain Infinity says, acknowledge. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, engage. Captain Infinity says, get married immediately. Enhammered. Schwario says, enhammered. John Araki says, those AI models' teeth are not as big as AOC's. That is true. Schwario says, it's Lisa from the Weird Science TV show. It's Lisa from the Weird Science TV show. Carlo says, she looks like my ex, only sexier and real. Hemorrhoid Hurts is just a matter of time before the safeguards are gone. Well, that's the thing, Hemorrhoid Hurts. The safeguards didn't exist in the initial stages. And there are indeed plenty of AIs out there that have no safeguards. They have minimal safeguards, like, they don't let you do stuff that's illegal. And that's one of the things that society should debate about. Carlos says, so like every other man, he's using AI for corn. I just thought of it today. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, it already happened in my mind. God help the day we get service bot with reprogrammable AI, says Carlo Albanese. I mean, that's the thing. We're basically there. We're basically there. Schwario says, oh my. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, of course we are. We're men. Schwario says, show it, bird. Hakeem says, not safe for work, AI. Captain Infinity says, real world models are actually reducing their prices, allegedly. See, that's the thing. At this point, what's the point of hiring models? We don't need models anymore. We can make all the models we need for free from AI. Schwario says, oh my. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I have something, cough, cough, I need to take care of. Josh says, Bird, you're going to get a few thousand comments after the stream asking for the sauce for the image. Well, if they make a comment, I will do my best to answer. That Infinity says, yeah, Bird, you got her number, asking for a friend. Darth Maul says, Bird of Prey 5 just became Boing O Prey. Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey 5 created a new website called Bird Hub 5. Hemorrhoid Hurts says, I never get notifications for your stream. The Random Menace says, only birds. Only birds. Check out my only birds. Hakeem says, I have been doing that to actors and actresses for a while. The chick that plays Black Widow gave a cease and desist to a group that was using her image in AI art. Darth Maul says, time to get Nicole DeBoer cameo saying, welcome, Porn O Prey 5 channel. Hail Kuroga. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, I went to an AI portrait of Michael Burnham eating outdated Spam. I want an AI portrait of Michael Burnham eating outdated Spam while Berto Prey watches his favorite film, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, in the background. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, hello, Captain. Jim's Landscape LLC Commodore Production says, hello. Please check out St. Patrick's Day video. Very cool. To Jim's Landscape LLC. Daniel's Hot Topics says, tomorrow is March 19th. It's the 30th anniversary of one of my favorite anime release in Japan, March 19th, 1994, but the 30th anniversary of the American release will be 2030. Melted Copper says, good morning, Earthlings, Kapla Melted Copper. Carla Albanese says, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Birdo Prey 5 might eat the out-of-date Spam Mamo Prey saved for us. I doubt it, but tune in to find out. Daniel's Hot Topics says Cisco trumps Picard. I agree. Carlos says, I can't wait to retire. Only another 60 years if I can afford it or live that long. Captain Infinity says Kirk trumps everyone. William Shatner was here in New York this morning. He was on the news. He was on the NBC today in New York. With their panel of people. Apparently, William Shatner's got a new documentary out. It's a like a privately funded documentary that they had like Kickstarters or whatever fund, and those people get their money back first. It's in theaters, but just a small amount of theaters at the moment. I'm guessing at some point it'll be released digitally. It's all about William Shatner's life from before Star Trek, while at Star Trek, after Star Trek, and that means after the Star Trek TV show, before the movie started. We hear about William Shatner. He was once, even after TOS finished and after TOS was over, he was living out of his car. He had nothing. He couldn't get a check cash. He literally couldn't find a place that would cash a $15 check of his. He was watching Star Trek on a 4-inch or something, black and white television in a car that he was literally living out of. And, yeah, he would do pretty much anything for money. So I'm glad they didn't ask him too much, but he was, and he is enjoying life now. So good for him. Good for him. Carlos says 99 is a good age, right? Kirk for the win, says Carlo. Well, it is. It's, I say, Shatner, I think he's 94, or he's about to turn 94. And I'll be honest, he's starting to show his age. He's starting to show his age. I hope he continues well, but I saw him today, and he is starting to look old. He is starting to look old. He's gone a long time without really aging, but I hate to say it, he seems to be aging again. Carlos says, so is it racist? It's racist. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we were talking about. Jim's Landscape LLC says Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are great. Indeed. The Random Menace says if you cannot ask for a white woman, ask for a Swedish or Nordic one. Yeah. There's European, but I'm always afraid if you ask for European, it's going to say, well, what are you? If you're American before you go in the bathroom, and you're American after you come out of the bathroom, what are you when you're in the bathroom? European. Don't all laugh at once. Daniel's Hot Topic asks, what's a service bot? Daniel, one day we're going to have a discussion about exactly what a service bot is, but it's not today. Maybe when you're in the backstage. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior. Birdo Prey 5, all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Bill. All should hail Karoga. Carlos is only AI fans. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Cinnabon Bunny is here. Kapla, Cinnabon. Stan Lee says Tunnel Bunny. No, what? Tunnel Bunny. Cinnabon Bunny, I can't believe you were still awake. Still awake at 4 something this morning. And then for quite a while after I said Kapla, I went back to sleep. Janice Hot Topics is Shatner turned 93 on Shatner will turn 93. Oh, I thought he would turn 94. 93 on March 22nd, 2024. And I will be 37. We share the same birthday. Awesome, Daniel. Daniel and Shatner sharing the same birthday, March 22nd, coming up in 4 days. 3 days, 4 days. Cat Infinity, but not the same year. No, not the same year. Carlos is Shatner in space. Daniel says, no, I was born March 22nd, 1987. And Shatner was born March 22nd, 1931. Oh my God. 1931. Can't even imagine. Carlos says, hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Darth Maul says European Lowell. Yeah, well, that was That's an oldie. That is an oldie. Okay. What'd you say, Mama Frey? Oh, okay. So, Cinnabon says, yeah, I've been dealing with some horrible insomnia lately. Sorry to hear that, Cinnabon. Okay. So, see, once again, I bring up our beautiful AI model, the official model of the Birdo Prey 5 channel. Let's see, though. Let's go, okay, to our March holidays. For March 18th is Awkward Moments Day, National Biodiesel Day, Act Happy Day. No matter what the situation is, choose to stay positive. Laugh, smile, and be happy. Clean Monday. Let's fly our kites high in the sky as we welcome Lent. Okay. It's Forgive Mom and Dad Day. Accept and cherish your parents' imperfections in the same way they do yours. It's Global Recycling Day. Upcycle your trash and see how recycling can affect our planet and your pocket. Goddess of Fertility Day. That looks like something you would get on Risa. Green Monday Cypress. Let's begin the auspicious period of Lent by celebrating a day of gratitude. Lent, I believe it's Orthodox Lent. National Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day. Taste a crisp and chewy. These are attractive qualities of Lacy Oatmeal Cookie. National Sloppy Joe Day. It's about to get sloppy. Get your napkins ready as we enjoy a sloppy Joe today. Not for me. I have never been a fan of the sloppy Joe. It just, like, what is it even made of? Just chopped meat and what? Spices. Chopped meat and spices on a bun. Tomatoes. See, I don't like tomatoes. So it looks too red. I don't know. The National Supreme Sacrifice Day, which appears to be for those buried in foreign countries for war. Orthodox Lent, observe the season of fasting, prayer, reflection, and drawing nearer to God during Orthodox Lent. Transit Driver Appreciation Day. Appreciate your transit driver today for making your daily travels easy and problem-free. And finally, Welderly Day. This Welderly Day, re-examine what old means and continue to live life to the fullest. So I have pictures of old people on bicycles. Yeah. Okay. Let's check the news. Putin declared winner of a race never in doubt. Congratulations to President Putin. New York to probe sputtering legal marijuana program. The New York economy is so strong that legal marijuana is not taking off. Oh my God. Governor Hochul launches effort to protect New Yorkers ahead of total solar eclipse. What are you going to do to protect people from an eclipse, lady? Oh my God. Do we need to be protected from an eclipse? Supreme Court leans against limiting Biden administration contacts with social media. I probably shouldn't have read that. Supreme Court wary of states' bid to limit federal contact with social media companies. Bitcoin will hit, and this is a headline, not my opinion. Bitcoin will hit 150,000 this year, Standard Chartered analysts say. Currently, I think Bitcoin is at like 25,000. So that would be a tremendous increase. William Shatner thinks Gene Roddenberry is twirling in his grave over new Star Trek. Yes, 1 hour ago. Uh-oh. Let's see. William Shatner thinks Gene Roddenberry is twirling in his grave over new Star Trek. With a property as sprawling as Star Trek, of course, everyone has their own opinions on which entry is the best and which entry is their favorite. Those might be two distinct answers. It shouldn't be a surprise that OG Star Trek star William Shatner thinks OG Star Trek is the truest version, not just because of his involvement, but because of creator Gene Roddenberry's particular vision. He was in the military, and he was a policeman, Shatner says in a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter. There are strict rules. You abide by the rules, and that the writers had to write the drama. Roddenberry steered the series with the discipline. This is the way a ship works, Shatner explains, and that includes crew members not making out with each other. Well, as Star Trek progressed, that ethos has been forgotten in more recent shows, the actor observes. I sometimes laugh and talk about the fact that I think Gene is twirling in his grave. No, you can't make out with the lady soldier. Shatner, who hasn't watched the other Star Treks very much, recalls big fights between Roddenberry and the writers of The Next Generation. He reiterates that Roddenberry wouldn't approve of the romances between crewmates on the new shows, adding the difficulty in the beginning between management of Next Gen and Roddenberry was all about Gene's rules and obeying or not obeying those rules. Shatner got his own shot in the pilot's seat directing Star Trek V, which he lists as one of his biggest regrets. I wish that I'd had the backing and the courage to do the things I felt I needed to do, he reflects, saying management altered his original concept of Star Trek goes in search of God. From there, it was a series of my inabilities to deal with the management and the budget. I failed. In my mind, I failed horribly, he says. When I'm asked, what do you regret most? I regret not being equipped emotionally to deal with a large motion picture. So in the absence of my power, the power vacuum filled with people that didn't make the decisions I would have made. That said, I would be willing to return to the Star Trek universe under the right circumstances, so long as it wasn't a stunt, like Leonard Nimoy's cameo in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie. Shatner states, if they wrote something that wasn't a stunt, that involved Kirk, who's 50 years older now, and it was something that was genuinely added to the lore of Star Trek, I would definitely consider it. Oh my God. Don't give them a reason. Don't give them a reason. Let's see. Yahoo comments. Carl Edison had to rewrite the script for City on the Edge of Forever due to Roddenberry saying the Enterprise crew members would never do some of the things he wrote. Gene had a very specific belief about humanity becoming wiser in the future. John says you can't argue with Captain Kirk. And Rich says, Doctor Who isn't the same show it was in the 1960s. Things change. Lambda says, always the ego with Shatner. Lol. Nimoy's part in the movie wasn't a stunt or a waste of time. It was always a nice part of the movie where he appeared several times and again in the next movie. Shatner's role in the Next Gen movie was barely bigger than Nimoy's in this one. A stunt for you is just a stunt for you is to just make a cameo. Shatner, however, needs the whole movie to be about him to even consider it. Lol. And Joe Biden with a $1.49 donation says, can I have some of that red liquid from the Karogan orphans you were selling last night? Hail Karoga, number 22. Yeah, so if anybody was on Chris Knight's stream last night, we were playing Jackbox games. And Karogan, authentic Karogan orphan tears were up for sale. So check out the stream last night if you're interested in seeing authentic Karogan orphan tears mixed with blood. Tony says, and women get pregnant on Navy ships. Right. Many do after going out to sea. Open up your eyes, old guy Shatner. Tony missed the boat, Tony. It's not William Shatner who says it. It's Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry set the rules, Tony. Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry set the rules to Star Trek. Bill Shatner is just trying to explain those rules. And Jeff says wokeness ruins stuff. Indeed it does, Jeff. I don't know that you know what it is, but indeed it does. No. Interesting. McDonald's employee hospitalized after angry customers start drive-through shootout. Lincoln Realtor says change to commissions will add substantial costs for home buyers. No. Why would lowering the cost of commission add substantial costs to home buyers? Bitcoin inches closer to major danger zone as halving nears. What's going on with the Bitcoin? What's going on with the Bitcoin? Bitcoin inches to danger zone. Although Bitcoin has started the week on a positive note, recovering from recent losses that followed at this new all-time high, the maiden cryptocurrency is inching closer to a major danger zone, which has historically started to make its pre-halving retraces. Specifically, Bitcoin has traditionally performed pre-halving retraces in the period between 14 and 28 days before its halving event, with a 40% retrace in 2016 and a 20% in 2016. In other words, Bitcoin is about to enter another danger zone in which the pre-halving retraces will typically begin, keeping in mind the flagship decentralized finance asset is less than 30 days away from the halving, and it's already recorded a pullback last week. At the same time, Bitcoin has demonstrated higher levels of liquidity to the upside in the past week, leaving analysis to wonder if traders will take it now or if market makers will bring the price down first for more liquidity to build on top and then make a move to grab it. Bitcoin price analysis. At press time, Bitcoin was changing hands at a price of $67,980, which suggests an increase of oh wow. So Bitcoin's up to 67,000. So 120,000, it's only just double. Well, it's still an impressive feat. It's also worth noting, crypto expert Trading Shot earlier opinioned that Bitcoin could see another A to H by month's end, as the drop to 65,000 saw it break below the 4-hour MA50 and enter Ichimoku whatever the F cloud for the first time in a month, while also touching the bottom of the short-term channel up pad. I have no idea what I'm even reading. Bitcoin price prediction. Meanwhile, in terms of specific numbers for Bitcoin price prediction, another synonymous crypto analysis also noted that history does not repeat, but it often rhymes, sharing expectations of Bitcoin to take off soon and bring on 100,000 sometime in the future. That said, advanced artificial intelligence algorithms over at the crypto market monitoring the platform price predictions has set them at 68,705 on March 31st, which suggests only a modest increase of 1.07% from its current price. We have AI predicting Bitcoin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Actress Lisa Dillon accuses Sir Patrick Stewart of incorrectly portraying their 5-year relationship. What is going on here? Addie Goes Places. Addie Goes Places. He's got a stream. Addie Goes Places has a stream set up for later tonight. Addie Goes Places says, I told Joe to buy Bitcoin when it was under 20K. He laughed and said it would never be worth anything. Here's $5 from my gains. Thank you, Addie. Speaking of somebody who has a stream tonight.
Scanning. Indications negative at this time.
Forget what I said. Thank you, Addie, and the eyebrow dax. Actress Lisa Dillon accuses Sir Patrick Stewart of incorrectly portraying their 5-year relationship as a silly affair in his memoir, Making It So. Sir Patrick Stewart has been accused of incorrectly portraying his 5-year relationship with actress Lisa Dillon as a silly affair in his memoir. Dillon, now 44. What a fucking... Dillon, now 44, was in a relationship with the acclaimed actor between 2003 and 2007, when she was 23 and he was 62. She was 23. She was 23 years old and he was 62. After being cast in a Norwegian playwright's The Master Builder, Henrik Eisbens, The Master Builder. The pair first met when Stewart, famous for his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek The Next Generation, was still married to his second wife, producer Wendy Noose. Stewart's first marriage to Sheila Falconer had already ended following an affair with actress Jennifer Hetrick. Dillon said she was in her local Waterstones last autumn when she saw some copies of Stewart's memoir, Making It So, before picking one up and searching for her name in the index. Really? In the index? You didn't think to check it digitally when it came out? In the memoir, which will be released in paperback this June, Stewart writes, "And so another divorce. I felt stupid and responsible. I had cheated on my wife with a younger woman again. And just like my affair with Jenny Hetrick, my time with Lisa Dillon would also prove to be relatively short. In a life chock-a-block with joy and success, my 2 failed marriages are my greatest regret." Those are your greatest regrets. Dillon told the Times, "The impression he gives is that our relationship was very fleeting, that it was a silly affair that broke up a marriage, and he got caught out. But it's not just about our nearly 5 years together. This is the most enduring friendship of my life," or it was. You poor schmuck. Patrick Stewart as Halvard Solness and Lisa Dillon as Hilda Wrangel in the production of The Master Builder at the Albury Theatre, London. I gotta tell you, she doesn't look 23. Well, I think this picture was taken then, I'm pretty sure. Because, it's not a picture of Patrick Stewart of recent either. I would say she does not look her age. She looks older than her age. I would guess, unless this was taken 10 years later, maybe, or something. Maybe she's, or 20 years later, because she could easily be in her upper 30s or 40s in this photograph. They're saying the pair pictured here in 2006. No. Dylan was in a relationship with the actor in 2003 and 2007. This picture is from 2006. Oh my God. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go back. The Random Menace shares his birthday with Einstein. I assume you mean Albert Einstein and not the dog from Back to the Future, who is the other famous Einstein, the world's first time traveler. Carlo Albanese says, "I don't share my birthday with anyone. I'm selfish that way." That's the right way, Carlo. You're supposed to be selfish on your birthday. Darth Maul is not sure how a genetic model you want for your shirt, Bird. Ask the AI to use Tessa Fowler. He has the ample billboard space for your designs. Carlos says, oh, wait a minute. The randomness is insomnia goes well with a baby. Mr. Londell says, Bird Prey 5, I would have lied and told everyone she, your AI beauty, was your girlfriend who lives in another state. Yeah. Then I would, my luck, someone out there would say, oh, I like that guy. I wanna meet him. And then they would hear I had a girlfriend in another state. And instead of saying, now I'll work twice as hard, they'll be like, oh, he's already got a girlfriend, and move on. And they would find the love of their life. Because that's how it always works. That's how it always works. Carlos says, oatmeal cookies. Is that a hobnob? Darth Maul says, forgive your parents' day. Sounds like it repuates rather than terminates. Daniel's Hot Topics says, happy birthday to Brad Doonrith, who played Truman Lon Suter on Star Trek Voyager. Hashtag Chucky. Hashtag Child's Play. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movie says chopped beef in barbecue sauce. I guess that's what Sloppy Joe. Carlo Albanese says congratulations to Putin. The Random Menace says do not congratulate a mass murderer to an unfair re-election. Arabic Sando says Kapla Bird Prey. Kapla Arabic. Captain Infinity says Kirk and Spock would never go back in time separately from Bones because of temporal complications. Carlo Albanese says, hail Karoga. What's a Biden? Sounds like some American president. Carlos says, agreed, woke up this morning. Jeff B says, Kapla Bird 5. Search for Karogan tears on eBay. Unsuccessful. Carlo says, Captain Fandom Nerd, hope you are as well as can be. Captain says he is, and Carlo says he's okay, too. Captain Infinity says it rhymes like a stanza. Captain Infinity says 22, 23, 62, 39. Mr. Londell says Wendy Noose work on Next Gen. Dirty old son of a bitch. Carlos says probably shouldn't have cheated on the person you love. I wouldn't date someone half my age, never mind a third, says Carlos. I would. Darth Maul says, I never knew anything about Stewart's personal life. Knew he had a son that guested in the show, and that's it. Darth Maul says, Veil Tom. Yes, this is a revelation, says Captain Infinity. The dog. Captain Phantom Nerd says, hello to Words and Pictures. Darth Maul says, at least it's not Dylan Mulvaney. The Random Menace is the dog Einstein would have been born on Pi Day, too. But yes, Albert. Darth Maul says, that chick has a rough life. IMO for her reason, looking 10 years older. Yeah, I guess she's had a tough life. Not something you usually find with actresses. Darth Maul says, the chick had a rough life. Yeah. Words and Pictures says, good to see you, brother. To Captain Fandom Nerd. Captain Fandom Nerd says, ask, how is Olivia? To Random Menace. Words and Pictures says, Random Menace, you share a birthday with Frank Einstein. Captain Fandom Nerd says, Arabic, how are you? Captain Infinity says, thou shalt not time travel separately. This is now Bird o' Prey law. Kapla. Carlo Albanese says, wait, so, dear Bop, you think it's okay for me to date a 20-year-old? Do I think it's okay for you to date a 20-year-old? Legally speaking, yes. Morally speaking, it's not for me to decide. That's between you and them. What you said was you would never date a woman half your age. What I'm saying is I would. Now, that's because I don't really have all that many options, right? I mean, if I had a woman half my age offer to go on a date, I would have to take it because there are just not a line of people offering. It's not like oh, there's 2 or 3 people that are my age, and I'm going to say, well, F you, I got a lady half my age waiting to go out with me. No. So at this point, I would take anything possibly that I was, the least bit interest in. But I have to have some interest. So I mean, there's still plenty of people, unfortunately, that just does not. I don't know. We'd see. Anyway, so we've learned some disturbing things about Patrick Stewart today. Okay, let's head over and do some Dear Bops. There's two Dear Bops. Let's see what we get. Okay. Dear Bop, what is your favorite video game? It's kind of an open question. I mean, is this like stand-up video game? Like if I was in an arcade? Or is this favorite game on a home system, favorite computer game, video game. I mean, stand-up video game, old classic video game was Arkanoid. I mean, I always played. I used to look out for Arkanoid. Granted, you could get Arkanoid on home systems, but I always enjoyed the stand-up version because the stand-up version generally had a wheel, and the wheel was the way to play the game. You know, if you're playing it on home, and it includes your computer. You know, a computer you could use a mouse, or you could use the left and right mouse buttons on the keyboard, or if you had a game controller, you could use left and right game controller. But the real best way to play Arkanoid was with the wheel that was on the stand-up game. So otherwise, more modern video game. Well, there was never, I guess it was Call of Duty 3. That was the one that really I ended up buying two new. I had bought two new Xbox 360s and I had bought God knows how many extra components so I could play that game. I could play the game at home. I could play the game at my office. It was the first game I ended up playing online against other people. I spent so many hours, God knows how many hours, mastering that game. I used to play it from work, spend hours after work playing it from my office, waiting for traffic to die down. Mom will pray. Just get the hose. Yeah, waiting for traffic to die down. It was definitely the standout video game of my life. And when I tried to play Call of Duty last year or 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, I guess it's been 2 or 3 years now. That was just a small attempt to get back to where what I had done. From I guess that was around 2007 to 2008, 2006 to 2008. So, I guess it's going to be Call of Duty 3. That would be my favorite video game of all time. Okay. Dear Bop, would you rather see a tree grow or a Negro? Oh, come on. Would you rather see a tree grow or a knee grow in your backyard? Huh? No. Well, as punishment, I will say that was certainly not who it's claimed to be, and we won't discuss it further. Captain Infinity says, "Oh, 30 listeners, kapla." Oh, well, sorry for 30 people heard that. Random Menace says, Captain Infinity, Olivia is the cutest thing on the planet, indeed. Mike Richards' Bird's favorite video game is Orphan Hunt 2000. Daniel's Hot Topic says, "Oh, Arkanoid. I thought you said Arkham Origins." The Random Menace says, "Dating a 20-year-old. It is immature, bad in bed, and probably dumb as a bag of bricks. Leave the 20-year-olds to the other 20-year-olds." Hakeem says, "I started playing Red Dead 2, and it's been fun being a cowboy." Captain Phoenix says, "Oh, I haven't started playing my Red Dead 2, so recommended then, Hakeem." The Random Ass says, "It's the 21st century. It's not a cowboy. It's a cow person." LDG says, hashtag not me. Darth Maul is laughing. Hakeem says, "Captain Infinity, it took me 5 years to start playing, but yeah, it's really good." Words and Pictures says, "We know LDG. You would have had more class and style than that. Don't fear." All right. Okay. So I guess this is where we're going to stop. Although, well, we'll go back. We need to think of a name. We need to think of a name for her, please. Anybody who'd like to think of a name, put it in the chat, or if it's after, put it in the comments. In fact, better yet, put it in the comments, because we're going to end real soon anyway. I'd love to hear options on names for her. Maybe we'll bring her back, or obviously, her. Here is her with less clothes. It is out there. Maybe if you follow me on X, if you're interested, you can see the other picture used, but used out there. Okay, guys. Rebecca, Lady Jessica. Oh, did you Wordle on the stream? I did not Wordle. I'll Wordle. I will Wordle. Random Menace. I will Wordle. Okay, let's do a quick speed Wordle. Juice. Juice. I was looking at those pictures and I was thinking, juice. Okay, E in the wrong space. HOS Hosner. S and E in the wrong spot. S E A S S E C S E C C C Secret Secry. No, it's not a word. And the C is already used. PLEAS. Please. Okay. We got the E in the right place. We got P and L and S. So let's see. S P E spell. Okay. S P E L T spelt. There we go. We got it in 5. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's speed Wordle. I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible. I don't care if it takes me 5 or 6 tries, where if I was thinking harder, I could maybe do it in 2 or 3 or 4. But that's not the point for me. The point is to get it as quickly as possible. Yes, Mama Frey. The word spelt? Probably not, but I certainly sounds like I've heard it. Have I ever actually used? Spelled? I probably would have spelled. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had reason to use it. Carla Albanese says, words are hard. Thanks for this training. Thomas says, it's not LDG because he uses AI, and AI is only racist to white people. Call her Michael, says Thomas. Nope. Minuet. Minuet's a good advice, but leave it as a comment. 54.5 Access Radio. She looks like Brunhilde to me. I don't know about that. Hakeem says Kate or Claire. LDG says greed. Oh, I didn't ask people. I didn't ask people for a starting word. Yvette says bird, put spot on her and call her Dax. Oh, pray. Funny thing is, I did the second image I put through the Nudifier was in fact the Dax in a bathing suit from Risa. And I was pretty impressed with the results. Although it didn't extend the spots. See, we know Jadzia, the spots go all the way down. But the AI stopped the spots at the neckline, and they restarted it at the top of the leg, because that's where you could see them. Remember, it was the picture from when she was on Risa. She was in a one-piece bathing suit. It perfectly recreated, presumably what was under the bathing suit, except for the spots. So I would venture to, let me see, do I have it? Do I have it in the recent files? No, I don't. Let's see. Did I save it? I must have saved it, right? If I did, I can black out the naughty bits. And show it. Come on. Takes forever. There it is. Okay. Okay. Actually, how do we do this? There we go. Yep. You can see the spots end, but it's pretty good otherwise. Okay. I guess kapla all bird out. Wait, let me go back to the chat just in case there's something there. Now I'm in a pickle. I am in a pickle. I need to change the screen. Okay. We'll put this screen up. That will let me stop that. Okay. Now we can go back. Now we can go back to this screen. Aubrey O'Clair causes Simone or Sim1 wasn't a bad film. Darth Maul says the Bride of Birdseed. The Bride of Birdseed. Asia Tilligence. Asia Tilligence. Says words and pictures. JP says, I come in and the goddamn thing I see is Hoja. What the F? JP says, spelt is past tense of spell. Words and pictures says past participle form of spell. JP says, you know what this Hosier is trying to say. Miranda Man says, it's British spelling. JP says, you mean proper spelling. Captain Phantom Nerve says, hello to 54.5 Access Radio. Random Menace is laughing at JP's. Carlos says, blue spots. I always thought they were blue. JP says, oh, I'll make some spots all over Jadzia. Words and pictures of Yvette, which with your Dax call, always you predict the outcome. Anthony Jill says that was a bad episode, but a good bathing suit. JP says One Pieces are never any good. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Jill. Says hello back. Mike Richards says, so she needs to be Spotified? Yes. Andrew Jill says, what's wrong with a one piece? They are comfy. Not everyone wants to be in a bikini. It leaves more for the imagination. Carl Albanese says they're too hard to take off, especially when wet. JP says, and bikinis are just yuck. And Jill's laughing. And she's, now I get it.
Log, stardate 741.
Words and Pictures donated £5 through Super Chat. Says thank you. Doff's cat. You're welcome, Words and Pictures. Thank you. JP says, move the bottom square, damn it. Stanley says, now this is the kind of AI that LDG should be focusing on. Mike Richard says, farewell. Stanley says, screw this free the net BS. Carla says, I would have thought her belly button would have been hairy. What? And Words and Pictures, it says, wait. Carlos says, have a fantastic day, night, everyone. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Stan Lee says, Carlo, treasure trail. Hakeem says, now due to it, Michael Burnham holding Tilly. No. Why do you have to ruin a perfectly good stream, Hakeem? 5045 says hello to Captain Phantom Nerd. And Carlos says, on your standard definition TV, with a slight tilt to a blue contrast, they might have appeared more blue than black. And Stanley says, LDG, free the boobs. Free the breasts, says Stanley. Okay, guys. Now we're going to go Kapla all, bird out.